Hello everyone!
Welcome to Teslas in Canada. So, welcome here to another video where unboxing Hanshshow's standard range Model 3 audio upgrade kit here. Comes with 2 speakers, subwoofer, and then the wiring to open up 4 other speakers in the front in the A-pillars. So this is a awesome high quality kit, and they're actually currently working on a brand new kit which will be released here shortly, so stay tuned for that. And in terms of wiring and all that, it's going to be very similar to this video, so you're going to just want to follow along with this how-to guide in order to install your kit. So here I'm taking out all the floor mats as well as anything that's going to obstruct the path on the passenger side, and opening up all of the doors because we will be disconnecting the battery, the main battery and the 12-volt battery, and we want to make sure that we can access the vehicle from the inside. So to turn the battery off, you're going to go to safety and scroll all the way down to power off. And then as you power off the vehicle, you will then have no power, of course. To turn the power back on, you will just be getting back in the vehicle, pushing your foot down on the brake, and it'll power it back on. But the next step here is to go on up to the front of the vehicle and pull off the cover, which covers your windshield washer fluid and a battery disconnect, as well as your air filter intake. So you're going to pull on the green tab up, and then you are going to slide the black tab over to the right and pull it off the battery to disconnect it. Then you're going to hop into the back seat on the passenger side and flick this little black tab and pull up on the seat and move the black foam piece there, and then disconnect the battery from here by pulling on the tabs just like I have. So once you have that pulled up, it's good to lay out your wires from front to back and how they're going to go in the vehicle. And I just laid them temporarily here to get an idea of how to do it. Next, you're going to jump right into popping off panels, and you can get these panel removal tools from Amazon. There's a link down below. I found them very handy for getting access to the vehicle. So you're going to pop off the panel there, and then you're going to pop off the safety tabs there, which I didn't film, but there is 4 or 5 tabs there. And this is me laying upside down, popping off that panel. As you pop this panel off and the other panel, you're going to set them aside. I just put them in the driver's side, and I felt that was good. So this panel actually has 1 wire you're going to have to disconnect. You can disconnect both the light wire and the speaker wire, but I just disconnected the light and set it aside. Then you're going to pop off this larger panel here, which takes a little bit of work, but if you pull it, it'll snap off. And of course, be careful not to break any of the tabs while you're pulling all of these items off. And then you're going to step outside the vehicle and pull this off, which gets that entire panel right off, allowing you access to all of the wires. And you might get a little overwhelmed here, but trust me, it really isn't that difficult. And here I am just showing you all the wires and what's going on. I'm getting a little stressed out. So that is the CPU of the vehicle. I'm just pointing out where you have to disconnect. And I use this pry tool again from Amazon to pop out the white wire as well as the black wire in behind there. So you're going to need to have both those disconnected from the CPU. You're going to want to take them and plug the wires in. You'll see it right in the manual on exactly which ones to put together, but they do fit and match perfectly. So don't try and push them together too hard if they're not seeming to go together, because they probably don't go together. But it should be self-explanatory. Each wire only fits with one other connector. You're going to connect the wire to the wiring harness that you were given from Hansshow and then plug that back into the computer, as you'll see me do here. And then after you've done that, you can tuck the wires in there, and here's how it should look. It's a little bit busy and crowded, but it all fits in there nicely. And then you should have 4 of the connectors all connected there. Next, you're going to want to go find this one with a black pull tab. Now there is a section you'll have to push in with your thumb and then pull back as well. And then as you're connecting, it can be a little bit tricky, so you may have to kind of look at how the other one was done before and then snap that together. Once you have that snapped in, then you can put the other side back into the computer. Next, you're going to want to pull up this white plastic trim that holds one of the main wires that goes back, and you just carefully pull the wire out of there, and the white section is just snapped in with some tabs. It does come off fairly easily, so you shouldn't have too much difficulty with that, although it does get a little bit stuck under the carpet on the back side here. Once you have that white piece out, you will be able to see these 2 wires. You're, of course, want to get the wire that's underneath the white one there. So you got to pop the white one off in order to get the light blue one. And that is what you are going to plug in the next wire into. And just like all the other ones, you're going to plug in the wire into that socket and then plug the other side into the blue socket in order to get it to work, and then somehow fit all of these pieces under the trim there. And you're going to want to feed the rest of the wires underneath this trim piece into the back and tuck it underneath the trim panels as well. And tuck it underneath the trim panels in order to get to the battery that you had disconnected under the rear seat there in the passenger's side. So once you have those done, you can tuck it all away. Now it does seem like it's not going to fit, but it does. And then snap that white piece back in and fit all of the wires all nicely in there. And you can see here how I tucked it all nicely in the car. And we'll come back to that jumbled mess later and tuck it behind the panels once we are all done. So once you are back here at the rear seat, you're going to grab a 13mm wrench, disconnect the bolts, and attach the red wire to the red, and then the black wire to the black. And it should look like that once you're done. And then you're going to remove the panel on the side of the seat, which I forgot to film, but you'll figure it out. It's not too difficult. And then you're going to feed the rest of the wires up through there and into the trunk. And you're going to have to remove the trunk panel, which again is some safety clips that you can pop off with the tools if you bought the tools there from Amazon. And you can pop those off, and you'll want to remove this clip here for the light in the side and remove that all the way. Now you'll see this black piece here. The black piece here is exactly where you are going to install the subwoofer.
The screws. Does it tell you where?
Yeah, you'll remove this
there?
plastic piece, and then it goes into there, there, and there.
Okay.
And you're gonna now put together this part of the subwoofer. Don't make the mistake I did and put the piece on backwards. You're going to flip it around and just spin it and drop in the subwoofer here and attach all of the screws. And now is a good time to plug in all your wires, as long as you have the wire fed in behind the panel already. And then you can remove all of the bolts here. Now this bolt that I first showed you snapped off on the back, so I had to get creative and use needle nose vice grips, which my friend David helped me take off. And if you saw in the right hand corner screw there is a grounding wire that you're going to want to put back on, and make sure you have your subwoofer controller plugged in as well. Now you are going to head back and start to connect all of the batteries back to the vehicle. Hook up that battery under the seat, plug it back in, go around to the front and hook up the battery there in the front. And everything turned on. That was interesting. Okay, come on, no errors. So again, all you have to do is step on the brake and it will power back on. Let's just put on whatever, today's top hits for now.
Yeah, this is on. Yeah. Yeah, that's on. Yeah, the sub works too. I can feel it vibrating. Yeah.
And then I can put that up.
That's awesome.
So if everything works well, now you can go back and snap in all your panels, tuck all your wires away, and you are done. Now you can enjoy the Hansshow kit, and you can adjust the subwoofer from the subwoofer controller. Now I just attached that in the rear of the trunk. I stuck it up onto the roof with a little sticky pad. Hello everyone, and